boys are privileged and spit with laws. I'm a reality speaker, forget them cars. I'm learning how to teleport to reach the Mars. When you love this and live this, you spit your bars. I spit a quick barrage, switch to R's before you get burnt by all these lit cigars. I spit because the time is upon us. Prophecy, Edgar Cayce, Nostradamus.
Okay, so we went through the curriculum and covered the science part of it, where you could see they nodded their head, they accepted, acknowledged what the scientific method is, then put it to one side and started teaching beliefs, ideas, concepts, and without any testing or without using the scientific method, which is pure indoctrination, to imbue an opinion or an idea without any proof of the claim. Obviously we know the state system of education is based on the Prussian mimicry system. Originally I had noted down that the main aim of the Prussian mimicry system is to produce a member of the workforce, and that's basically because all the information out there about the Prussian mimicry system is about sort of just after the Renaissance, and as we're sort of apparently moving into the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution. We needed to get people out of the fields and commit to coming to work in a factory. So basically understand how to operate machines, be able to follow instructions, sign contracts, all that sort of thing. And that is definitely true, and that has definitely not changed. We all understand, without the requirement to read books and find out how, who made the secondary schools and who did this curriculum, using our own experience, because we've all been to school presumably, that especially in secondary school it's pitched towards passing exams, and what are you going to do after school. There's careers advice, and that is the focus. What are you going to do when you leave here? These are the things you're going to need to do. So it's just about work, and nobody's under any illusion that it's about anything else. Obviously that is not education. It's not there to give you the tools to be able to think and enjoy your life and understand your surroundings and be able to think about why you're here and dig a little bit deeper. It's not about that. It's about making you work. But what we can see, that by giving people a belief system and telling them what to think and getting them to regurgitate it so you can check to make sure that they're going to repeat those things, you're creating basically just information retrieval units. So we know that we can ask any of these people a question. We know these questions well, and they will all give the same response, obviously to varying degrees depending on their access to information, how much they've stored in their brain. They will retrieve the information and it'll be the same answer, just at varying degrees. So information retrieval, by doing this, what you're creating is a very, if you're trying to control a population, you're creating a very predictable outcome, because as we've seen, we can predict the answers to these questions. So in a bigger game theory, by having everyone singing off the same song sheet or singing the same universe, there's set answers, so you can predict, therefore you can plan 30, 60 years ahead, and you can predict generally what the outcomes will be and what people will expect and what people will accept, and how far you can push them, and you will game it out in team, I mean, endlessly, to the nth degree, they can understand what is going to happen. You can't have that if you've got critical thinkers, and that's why that education is kept for the few, because you wouldn't buy into any of that anyway. So if we're out here, predictable responses. Okay, so that's within the curriculum. So for the majority of your day, you are being given information as fact that is there to make you predictable. Then outside of school, this is quite often known as extracurricular activities, and for the majority of people, for a lot of people, much of that time is spent in front of a television. And that's why I wanted to show those Star Sucker documentaries, because I remember when I first saw them, I was infuriated. But you can see that that's all you need really to control a population. Indoctrinate them through the state education, and then outside of school, extracurricular. So you've got your curricular, your extracurricular, TV, all programming, all completely contrived. And it becomes one big sort of feedback loop where your parents, your peers, they're all consuming the same out of school as in school, the same programming, same techniques are used. And then you're basically very easily controllable and predictable. So I made a little diagram. So like if you asked a primary school child, secondary school, an undergrad, PhD student, a professor, someone with Google Glass, access to all the information on the internet, or an AI computer which just has access to all the information that we've generated, and lots of computing power to process it at a quick speed. You're essentially going to get the same answer. So you've got your AI, your Big Blue, Google Glass. You're going to get the same answer at just varying degrees of information. A basic level, a little bit more, still highly programmed. Yay! I can now spout out, repeat, regurgitate some other information that's been put in my mind by this guy who's done the same and has built on top of it, and she can access it all. So this is all, the whole school curriculum is artificial intelligence. Now, where was I going? Yeah, I think I'm just trying to think where I was going with this. I mean, basically, this mechanism is how this flat Earth information is definitely being controlled online on the internet, especially YouTube. They know how predictable people are, and they know what the responses are through 20, 30 years of television watching and being educated in a state school or just a school following the curriculum. So they know exactly how to control and kettle people into areas and stop them thinking for themselves. Because that's definitely what they don't want, which is the beauty of Beyond the Imaginary Curve. They're promoting people thinking for themselves, using natural science and common sense to base your understanding of what's going on. I would say that every single other piece of information you come across is being presented by someone who's providing information to you for you to repeat and regurgitate. It's just like the education. Or to gossip about and slag off, like the extracurricular activities. So they know that you're going to do that, which is why they want you to keep doing it. You know, the big push the past week in all the chat sections of live shows and basically everywhere is, the best proof is going to be the observation of the Isle of Man or Ireland from England. That's the best. This is the best proof. This is the best. No, it's not the best proof, and we all know that it's not the best proof. That's your proof. Fella, you did it. Great, good. It's an excellent observation, but that's your proof. Most people's proof is reality. The reality that cannot be debated. The reality that we all experience. The water that we see. The levels, surface that it presents. The air pressure that we exist in. These are the proofs. So if anyone's making claims contrary to that, then they need to show it, because reality is reality. I mean, we'll go through some of these sections of the trivium again. You know, we've still got to spend quite a bit of time looking at the misdirections and logical fallacies, because they are excellent to be aware of. So you can point them out to people when they're using them. Quite often they don't realise they're using them. They've been used on them so many times they don't recognise it itself as a poor argument, and it forms part of their own understanding. But for me, the key to the critical thinking is understanding how to reason. So when someone presents an argument or an idea, just the different techniques you can use to reason. But the main thing being understanding that there are two intentions to all claims, arguments, conversation, whatever it is. When you communicate with someone, written, verbal, online, watching something, a presentation, there's two intentions. So it's important to remember that the first intention is the words that are being spoken or that have been written down, and understanding those, understand the claim, that is the first intention. Most people get that and will understand the first intention to varying degrees depending on how interested they are. Most people will not read between the lines and understand the second intention, which is always there. Whether the person who wrote it or is speaking is aware of their own second intention, it is there. Their desire, their intent can be hidden behind the first intention. And that's the whole point of critical thinking, is to understand what the second intention is, using different reasoning and recognising the logical fallacies and working it out. So with, for example, this flat earth debate bollocks, the first intention, are you up to date with the flat earth debate? The first intention being, are you up to date with the flat earth debate? The second intention, well, what could that be? I mean, I would say there are many, multiple. The main one being, there is a debate when there is not. Second one, to keep you tied into it. If you're not aware of it, keep in there. It's in question. Don't have any firm ideas. Don't commit to what you know. Don't accept using the scientific method and understand science and understand the environment you're in to come to a firm conclusion that you've been lied to about the globe. Don't do that, because it's still up for debate. Isle of Man. Island from the best flat earth proof. Okay. It's an excellent proof. And it's a good one for you, the person who did it. But it's still not as good as understanding the scientific method and understanding language and understanding what's being claimed and how there's no proof for it. Air pressure, water. So, I would say far better than wasting your time looking at that sort of thing, another man's proof, is get some information on the trivium and look at intentions, and then linguistically the impositions of words and how they're used. Much better use of time. And because I had to stop, I've completely forgot what I was doing, so I'll stop there. Alright, cheers.